Hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me on the banks of Woodside Pool. It's on the Lymm Anglers ticket and we're in search of a little bit of revenge for last week on Mr. Carp. So Woodside Pool is a place that I pass quite a bit on the way to the River Dane all winter, and every time I look at it I think this year I'm going to come and give it a go. So today we're going to come and give it a go and hopefully get one or two fish on the bank. So on the blog I do get a lot of questions asking for advice, and the number one thing I always say is always stand and just look at the venue before you decide where to fish. There's a lovely snag over there that's just got to hold fish. It's the only one in the water. One thing you will have to bear with today on the blog, and I'll do my best to cut it out, is the traffic. It is a busy road behind, so it is going to come out on a video, and like with quite a few Lymm waters, isn't too far to the pool. But my plan is to fish here to begin with, just into that dark water, and try and draw the fish out. Obviously if it gets harder you'll go closer to the snag, but a famous saying my uncle always told me, and I've said it on the river: start easy and only go hard if you have to. Looking at the side tray, we've got some of the little gem pellets from Hinders. We've got some small pellets to fire over the top just to make a bit of noise. Got loads of maggots and some corn, and they are to go down that margin down there. Mr. Carp is about, and as you can see he's just beneath the surface there, but like I said, we have got a plan of attack. Asking one of my mates in here what the stock's like. There's anything from carp from £1 all the way to 15. The rod that I'm using today is my Cordon Opportunist, and it's the quiver. I've got the 1 ounce tip in the end. I've got £8 line all the way down to a Preston method feeder, like you can see now. The reel that I'm using is a snapper reel, and on there I've got £8 line. I've got a short little hook link down to a size 12 hook and a banded pellet. We're on the first cast with the method, and my plan is, while that is out, is just to put bait down this margin here. It is a nice margin till you get to the end of that bush there. My plan is to keep feeding that for about an hour or more, and just sit on the feeder out there, and hopefully, in an ideal world, it goes straight round, doesn't it? I'm also feeding a couple of the pellets over the top as well on that far bank line, just to try and make a bit of noise and attract the fish out the snag, obviously along the bank to where my bait is, but a rare moment of complete silence. I had a feeling it wouldn't last long. There we go, into the first one of the day. Coming on the second cast. So about 18 months ago I do remember doing a work party on here where we stocked some carp, about 8 ounces. They were only tiny at the time, I remember. Now if that's one of them, they're not doing too bad, are they? But yeah, blank out the way and we're off the mark. There we go. Very next cast. Just about to put some more bait down that margin. Just feel very big again, just one of them small ones. But it's all about just building that swim to begin with. Peas in a pod compared to the last one. Almost certainly got to be them little ones we put in about 18 months ago. Fishing has come a long way since I started as a 4-year-old on the canal. Well, that has to be one of the best inventions by far. It's an absolutely deadly trap. There we go, there's definitely 1 or 2 on it now. And there's definitely a few of them down there now. It didn't take maybe a minute for the tip to go round. Let's get him straight back. And there we go, carp number 4, one of those dumpy little commons. Decided to have a bit of a dangerous cast over there, and I was just tightening up and the tip went round straight away. So maybe we are making life a bit harder for us going in front, literally within seconds. Been fishing for about an hour, and that's carp number 5, and definitely a little bit bigger. So it's been a great hour or two catching those stockies, but I was wondering where the better fish was. I had to nip back the car to get myself a drink, and I come round and this is what I found. There's quite a few carp all up this margin there. We've got Mr. Carrot amongst them as well. Before I went back to my box, I dropped a couple of pieces of bread in. You can see already they're on it. Let's waste no time at all and get a piece of bread with an hook in. One rod that I always have either in the car or lying around the house is this rod, especially in summer. Free lining, piece of bread, caught 'em opportunist, and a reel with 8-pound line. It's as simple as it comes. There we go, it didn't take too long, I didn't think it would. You do often wonder though, don't you, when they're taking every other piece of bread but yours. We'll just put a few more pieces of bread out, just see if we can get them to come back in. You never really know how they're going to behave really when you catch one. They'll either come back in or they won't. There's a tree there they can go and soak under, and well, there's one there straight away, so hopefully by the time we've taken a look at this one, there'll be one or two more slurping down a bit of bread. And that didn't take too long, did it? And now we know where they are. There's one or two more taking the pieces of bread behind me, so I'm going to get him straight back. Let's get back out there. Hopefully we can get another. Oh no, it is one of the smallest ones that we've seen. Oh god, not too good about him coming off. He was tiny, he was like one of them from round the corner. And that's always the way, surrounded by, you know, better carp, and you go and hook the smallest one you can see. There we go. And I must admit, this is one of my favourite things to do. If you watch the channel regular, when it comes to spring and summer, I really would just do this every week. I love going out after work and doing it, just grabbing a loaf of bread, a rod and a unhooking mat, and you can have loads of fun. And that's why I always have it in the car. Like today, we're on the method feed around the corner, and if we didn't have it, you know, we couldn't just grab it and start making the most of this opportunity. And what a lovely carp that is. Dark head, almost a bit of ghosty in his head, and certainly bigger than what we had this morning on the feeder. And lovely colours in his tail as well. And I've lost count how many fish like this I've caught over the years by just having a rod like that set up. Let's get it straight back. How quick was that? Flicking it out. It's that bit further to where they've returned to on that snag, and took it straight away. And the fact that he's not come up to the top flapping kind of makes me think he's a slightly better one. Either that or he's just very lazy and wallowy. And again, opportunities like this don't last forever. That sun goes in or it clouds over, it'll be gone. So being able to react to it really quickly is key, and make the most of it. Because they won't keep getting caught like that forever, I can tell you that. If that doesn't justify having the rod in the car, nothing will. Gotta be getting on for double figures. A lovely fish and a great battle. The simplest of tactics, a piece of bread, a hook and some line. Doesn't come much simpler. Let's get this beautiful fish straight back. And when I got my GoPro, I really couldn't believe what I've been missing out on. But they're so temperamental, they really are, and it's coming up with a SIM card every now, so I'm just hoping that all the footage I got before has been saved, most definitely, because we got cracking takes, especially off that nice one. And it didn't take too long for this one, after a bit of a break, to slurp down another piece of bread. It's been a good bit of time spent on the bread. We've had plenty of bites and a bend in the rod. Let's get it straight back. Now these fish always remind me of Matt Hayes and Mick Brown. I think it was the Great Rod Race where they were trying to catch them off the surface. And yeah, a lovely fish. So the grey skies have moved in as predicted, and as you can see behind me, the carp have also moved off as well. I really do hope you have enjoyed this week's blog. It really would be great if you could like and subscribe. Just want to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight lines. And as a bit of extra footage to you guys who stayed on, the next day after work I've come up with the big man a piece of bread, and we found them, and he's connected with a bit of a decent one, aren't you, matey? Is he a big un?
Yeah.
Are we going to get him in?
Yeah.
Hopefully.